In this interview, we will be interviewing the Wildermen. I'm Chris with Picks and Sticks Music Studio, and if you're new to this channel, we're an all things music channel. We like to support our local artists and bands. And if you want to see more interviews like this, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And if you like this interview, hit the like button. Not only does it help the channel, but it also helps promote the bands that we interview. If you're watching this on the replay, we do have timestamps. They will be down below. I usually get to them about Monday night, and I'll put them down below. We are performing tonight, as you can see. I already got a little snippet of them playing, and it was freaking amazing. I hope it comes out perfect when we get to that portion of the interview. Again, I'm really excited to be interviewing the Wildermen, and welcome to the channel, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So why don't we just start off by you guys just introducing yourselves and tell us about the band a little bit.
Yeah, well, my name is Randy.
My name's Frankie.
And I'm Daniel.
Yeah, and we're the Wildermen, or part of the Wildermen.
Yeah, we're actually exactly 1/3 of the Wildermen.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're a 9-piece group, but only 3 of us can make it tonight, so you get the stripped down acoustic version.
Only about 3 of us can fit in this room. So.
All right, as Scott Reeves, our moderator, he just said, don't forget this. It's a live interview here. We love questions. It kind of helps with the interview and keeps it going, and it's a lot of fun to answer them and stuff like that. I really enjoy it. Hopefully the bands enjoy it, but so don't forget about that. So how'd you guys get started?
Well, we got started. Me and Daniel got started playing music together. Back in high school. Really, all of us kind of played in our little musical circle because we all went to high school together. At least the 3 of us did, and that's kind of the root of where we got started.
Yeah, I mean, it was our class in high school was a little odd in the sense that just so many of us played music, and Frankie didn't graduate with us, but we hung out with Frankie as well, and not long after high school, Randy and I started gigging, and eventually we added Frankie and kind of kept building from there.
Yeah, we didn't really have a scene in our town, so we all kind of made one. We'd play wherever they'd let us play, and we all kind of knew each other in high school and then through college, and it just kind of, like they said, it built kind of organically until we ended up adding some of the other cats, the 6 other people,
That's pretty amazing.
We wanted to make some original music, and we wanted to kind of just have all our friends do it. So we just, whoever we wanted to play, we just figured let's get everybody in on it.
I think most of us are from Jasper in the Wildermen.
Yeah, I mean, if not Jasper, Tyler, our horn player, is from Canton.
Yeah.
And Steven, our drummer, is from Cumming.
Right. So.
And then Nick is from
Woodstock.
Well, he's from like the Cherokee County area originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all outside the perimeter North Georgia boys.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Jasper's beautiful. My wife used to work up there. She's a freelance designer, but when, she was working for actual companies and stuff, one of them was up there. So she would drive up there every day, 30 minutes each way.
Yeah,
But it's beautiful up there. So how many years have you guys been together now?
The Wildermen,
3
in our current iteration, probably about, I'm saying probably around 3
Probably
years.
between 2 and 3.
2 and 3 years, somewhere around there.
Yeah, but like I said, we've been playing music together. At least some of us had. That ended up kind of being the first members of what became the Wildermen. We played together for years and years and years before that. I mean, me and Randy started gigging pretty heavily in like 2012. Yeah, we've never really stopped. And Frankie probably started playing with us in like 2013,
something like that.
If that late. So quite a while.
I got on bass. I was a guitar player, and they said, "Here, Frankie, you're playing bass now."
Yeah, we had another bass player originally, and he wasn't going to be able to play with us anymore. And I asked Randy, do you know any other bass players? And he was like, "Well, I'm thinking about asking Frankie." And I was like, "Well, can he play bass?" And he was like, "He will."
That's awesome. Well, most guitar players can, kind of bounce back and forth between bass and guitar, and
And me and Randy both play bass in Wildermen now. And for a long time, especially whenever you're learning, figuring out how to play bass, you want to play it like a guitar, and you just gotta, learn how to do the finger style and pay more attention to what's going on
Hit those bass notes with the bass.
with the rhythm section and stuff like that. But me and Randy both, switched time in the Wildermen on bass and guitar, and we do a lot of instrument swapping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it seems like people that go from guitar first to bass, they play too many notes, right? And they they're so used to doing leads and having pass through notes and everything. And when you're playing bass, you just got to be in the pocket, with that bass drum. And
it's easy to get too busy.
Sure. And half the time it gets kind of lost anyway, right? So,
right.
But so I've been sharing your music and stuff, and you guys are amazing. And everybody's like, "Oh, what kind of music do they play?" And I've tried to I can't I can't describe it, but it's awesome. How would you describe your music style, I guess?
We usually say Southern Soul, but that's not really a great descriptor, but it's as close as we've gotten.
That's what the algorithm gave us to work with.
Yeah, I think we were going for a little bit vague there with the Southern Soul, because it's kind of hard to nail it down.
Americana, I guess we love soul music and Americana music, and whenever we write, I don't know if we try to pigeonhole it into a certain thing. It's just what kind of comes out. It's kind of countryish, kind of Americana, roots rock, I guess.
Yeah, it's really hard. We obviously have a hard time describing it.
No, I think
having the horns, I think, really does lend it to a little bit of a soul sound a lot of the time. But then, Frankie starts singing, and it sounds like he just materialized out of the kudzu, and you're like, well, it's not straight ahead soul anymore. It must be Southern soul.
Yeah, that's the best we've got.
I think how you described it as Americana, it's like, I think that's the word.
Yeah.
It's great music. I mean, I'm making dinner, I can throw it on. It's it's not too heavy where the wife is yelling at me, turn that down, and it's not too slow where I'm we're all falling asleep. Right? It's perfect. It's like awesome music. The horns are awesome. I mean, I was blown away. To be honest, until you guys reached out to me, I never heard your music before, and as soon as I played it, I was like just blown away.
Thank you.
Everybody needs to go check out their music. It's on Spotify. What are some of your biggest influences?
Again, whenever people ask us what kind of music we play, that's kind of hard to categorize, and we all have so many influences, especially with there being 9 of us. The primary songwriters in the band are me and Brandy and Dallas, our guitar player, and then Daniel. And we love everything from 60s soul, a lot of Otis Redding and Sam Cooke, to Waylon Jennings, Tyler Childers, Andy Holt from Manchester Orchestra, Jeff Tweedy from Wilco,
the band,
yeah. We especially the band. Really anything that's got some soul and a driving pulse to it, we really dig,
And as far as somebody current, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Leon Bridges.
Yeah, there's a really great soul revival kind of going on, and we didn't really intend to have that sound whenever we all got together, but it's something that we feel like
it just kind of happened. Yeah.
It just kind of happened, and it's a lot of fun. But we're music lovers. Everything really influences us, and it just depends on the day you ask us, I guess.
Right. And what's your background in music? I know some of you went to school for it, right? And
yeah, well, Randy and I, and Steven and Nick and Tyler. Am I missing anybody?
I think that's it.
So we all went to the same school and got music degrees. And then our trumpet player, Andrew, and our trombone player, Blue, are also, they went to a different school for music as well. So yeah, most of us have either a music performance or a music ed degree, or will soon to have a degree.
And then me and the other guitar player, we don't have music degrees. I taught myself to play from, about 13, 14, I started playing guitar. That's whenever I started running into Randy, and Dallas was in the same scene, our other guitar player. And that's whenever we really started, at least I started getting good, was I was playing with these guys who were older than me, who were leagues better. And we used to do like, a lot of blues jams and stuff, and some of the local cafes that would tolerate us.
Shout out to the Hill City Cafe.
Shout out to the Hill City Cafe. R.I.P. We would do a lot of improv and stuff like that, and Daniel even would come to some of those, and that really taught me how to play live. And go home and work on chops. So and Dallas was, in that same music scene, and
so some of us go way back.
yeah. That's mainly how I learned to play, was with these guys, and
He's got an honorary music degree from being around us so much.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's good to have Frankie around, because it keeps the rest of us from getting too caught up in the theory of it all.
That's right. Yeah.
It's good to have that different approach.
Right. Well, sometimes that theory can get in the way, right? Because you're trying so focused on like staying in the key and everything when you're in your writing, and then somebody that doesn't, I don't know how to explain that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Easy to overthink it sometimes.
Yes, exactly. So, why don't we talk about the song you're going to play and do that? And while you're doing that, go ahead and flip that setting, I guess, and we'll go right into your song.
I'm on it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to play a tune called Peaches and Brandy. It's one that I wrote, but Frankie sings. And it's a tune about a guy who loses his wife. It's kind of a sad song, but I think if you listen to it, you wouldn't know it's a sad song. It's kind of a sad song that's disguised as a happy song. Yeah.
It's like it sounds on the surface like just my girlfriend or my wife left me, and it turns out, it goes a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Said goodbye, and I love my baby, but she's gone. She'd hold my hand, get butterflies, and I love my baby, but she's gone. She understands me. Takes command of me, and I love my baby, but she's gone. Peaches, Brandy, my life is carefree, and I love my baby, but she's gone. Yeah, she's gone. Last thing she said, she missed being home. And I love my baby, but she might be moving on. And I can't accept what's going on. And I love my baby, but she's gone. She understands me. I love my baby, but she's peaches and brandy. My life is carefree, and I love my baby, but she's gone. Yeah, she's gone. Baby, but she's gone. Peaches and brandy, my life is carefree, and I love my baby, but she's gone. She understands me. Takes command of me. Peaches and brandy. I love my baby, but she's gone.
Something like that.
Wow. Don't forget to switch that setting back. That was amazing. That was really amazing. Oh man. God, I can't wait to see you guys live when all this crap is over. I mean,
Hopefully, hopefully
Yeah, no.
sooner rather than later.
dude, that's there was so much just I don't know, feeling in that, and man, I can't imagine all 9 of you like on
Yeah,
stage.
it's pretty cool.
It's
It's so much fun, man.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I don't know why I'm only on you guys. Sorry about that. I forget to switch back and forth and stuff. And
Yeah.
So-
you don't want us to get the big head, they're just showing us.
so speaking of all 9 of you guys, so what are some of the pros and cons having 9 of you and writing and stuff like that?
It's a challenge, I think, but
Mhm.
I think the way we mostly do it, because most of the songs are, me and Frankie primarily write, and then Daniel and Dallas, will kind of add in and help us, kind of co-write some stuff. But so not all 9 of us write the song. So I think that kind of makes it a little bit easier instead of trying to have, 9 people working on something, which I think can work, but it certainly would be pretty hard. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
And me and Randy mostly come in with at least an idea or a somewhat complete song structure. And, of course, everyone, has their part to play when shaping, the actual music. But so far as, the lyrics and the central songwriting, it's mainly me, Randy, or Daniel, or Dallas.
Nice.
None of us would get a little crazy.
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen at that point, I'd say.
Mhm. And then like in terms of horn parts and stuff, because that's got to be written.
Mhm.
Either I'll write them or me and Daniel will write them, or sometimes Frankie will have some ideas and he'll say, "Hey, this sounds like a cool horn part," and he'll send me a guitar part and he'll say, "Hey, make this a horn part,"
Yeah.
something like that.
That's where the music theory comes in handy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was watching.
One of Randy's degrees is composition, so that helps a lot with
yeah.
with the horn part and the arrangements and all that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw one of the, I was like researching you guys. That's what I do. Like every time I have a new artist or band that I got to interview, I spend, a couple hours just researching them. And I saw one video. It was the horn players playing. They had music in front of them that they're reading while they're playing or something like that. So I was curious on that. Like, okay, who wrote the music? Did you got, one of you write it, like you're saying, or did the horn people write it, or did you guys just jam and you improvise and you write down, or But sounds like
the horn players haven't written any of their own parts. They need to. They need to step up and work.
Yeah, if you're watching horn players, come on now,
Yeah,
step up.
it saved me a lot of work if they'd write their own parts.
So Scott's has a question here. Is that a J180 Frankie is playing?
This is actually a 1941 J100 reissue that they did. It was whenever they opened up the Montana custom shop. It was one of the first reissues that they did. They did this in the J45 1941 reissue, which had, instead of the mustache bridge, it just has a solid rosewood piece there without any craziness going on, and the Art Deco kind of pick guard.
Yeah, it's a little more simple, but it looks good.
I love this thing, man.
It's an SJ, ain't it?
SJ100,
Yeah, it's an SJ.
and I got it. Some guy on Craigslist for steal. He lived like behind a duck pond, and at first I thought it was totally a scam. So he was like, "Yeah, I'll take this for it." And I walk into his apartment, and it's like just an apartment he bought for his guitars, and he has like 200 guitars and he's pulling out like 59 Les Pauls and showing me and stuff. So it made sense once I got there.
Yeah, I know somebody that, like, I thought he was joking around, but he has like 600 guitars. I'm like, how do you even do, like, store that? He's like, oh, you get a storage, place just for your guitars. I'm like, that's insane.
That's crazy. That's nuts, man.
So
Good
what
for
are you
him.
playing, Randy, while we're on the guitar talk?
It's a Taylor 614 CE.
It's like a 91, right?
Yeah, it's a 99 model.
99.
1999, yeah. So it's got the maple back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's got
I was with Randy when he bought that.
Yeah.
I was mad jealous.
Yeah, it's a cool guitar. It's a 99 model, but I bought it in 2019. So it was 20 years old when I bought it.
Oh, nice.
His old guitar had seen better days.
Yeah, I'd played so much of my old guitar that it was just I couldn't gig on it anymore.
It had been broken once or twice.
Yeah.
Was it turning into Trigger?
It was. It had a hole right in the. It really did have a hole up in it.
Me and Randy both had guitars that we had played for like since high school, acoustics, and they were just beat all to crap. So I went out and bought this one, and then Randy was like,
"Yeah, once Frankie got a nice guitar, I had to get
he
one."
had to get one, yeah.
Yeah. So I have two brothers that play guitar, and they both taught me how to play guitar. And my brother Jeff lent me his Yamaha acoustic, when I was in middle school. And it was like the roughest finish. It was like somebody sanded it down with like 60 grit and lacquered it, but it sounded amazing. It played awesome. It was just like the best guitar, it's weird how it doesn't matter how pretty it is. It's just whether it sounds good and plays well. And
Randy used to have one of those old Yamahas, and it had his name carved in it in high school. So
Yeah.
Randy.
Yeah,
It's a Brandy carved across it.
we all affectionately called it Randy. We were pretty creative back in the day.
I thought that was a girl thing, not to be sexist, but naming guitars,
Oh yeah, no,
I've had a couple girls on here,
Name
and
it
they
after
all.
yourself.
I've had a couple girls on here interviewing. They all named their guitars, and like I never did that, but I don't know, maybe.
I haven't named any.
Yeah.
That instrument had my name carved in it, but I guess other than that,
I
I've
guess
not
you
named any
didn't. You
instruments.
carved it, right?
I did carve
So
it
you
myself.
did name that one.
I named it. Now we don't name any instruments, but
No. I do have amps that have names.
all of Daniel's
Yeah.
amps have names. But
Yeah.
my wife named them all.
Yeah.
So it was a girl who did it.
That is true. I didn't name a single one.
All right. So we're not going to leave Daniel out. Scott's asking what kind of harp is Daniel blowing on?
Mostly Suzuki Mongis. Right there. Check it out. Anywhere fine harmonicas are sold. Honers are great. Most people play Honers, but I really do like these Suzukis. They seem really consistent. But in my opinion, you really can't. If you're going to play a harmonica at any sort of higher level, you're probably going to need to work on it a little bit. Meaning literally work on the harmonica and make it play better, kind of like setting up the action like a guitar. And what I found is it really doesn't matter what kind you get. You can make them all play good. But I like the way these play once you set them up.
And speaking of that, Daniel has a YouTube channel. He does some harmonica stuff and does some reviews and stuff like that. And he does an outstanding job on that channel. Go check it out. Subscribe to it if you're a harmonica player.
Absolutely.
I enjoy it. I watched a couple of.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say while you're on the subject of YouTube, our drummer Steven has a super successful YouTube channel called The Non-Glamorous Drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just under his name, Stephen Clark.
Oh, it's under Stephen Clark.
I
Okay.
thought it was an ongoing.
But he's got like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, so check him out too. I didn't mean to interrupt you though, man.
No, that's pretty legit.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely go check that out. So we're talking about the 9. So how often do you guys get to rehearse with all 9? I know it's a little different scenario the last year, but
It's changed a lot.
Yeah. So when we were looking at these questions, they immediately all both said that I should answer this question because I have a little bit of a history of being a little uptight about logistics and things like that. So the rehearsal question fell to me, I guess. But when we're rehearsing for a gig, when we're getting ready for a gig, we try to rehearse once a week. Very rarely does that end up having all 9 people, or even 8 of those people,
or even 2.
Sometimes even 2. Sometimes it's just Randy alone in his basement, and he just sits in the dark and cries for 3 hours, and magically comes out with a tune. But I'm not trying to embarrass him, but it's difficult, and it's been even harder here lately. Of course, with all this COVID stuff going on, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word, but
yeah, that's fine.
With all this stuff going on, we haven't booked any shows on purpose because of how difficult that would be and how basically irresponsible it would be to begin with. So once we finished the shows we had booked, we've just trying to be concentrating on recording. So that's kind of how we're getting around that problem.
Yeah.
But trying to rehearse with 9 people it's hard. It's hard to make happen. It's hard to get everyone in one room.
It is. But whenever that does happen, it's great.
It's magic.
Yeah. Imagine 9 cats in a room and then put electric guitars in their hands. And that's kind of what a Wildermen rehearsal looks like.
I would assume that would be a pretty big room.
Yeah, it's a basement.
It's a basement.
So-
It ain't this room.
So it's like what's behind me. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's awesome. So if you could play any venue, what would it be? I know there's 9 of you, but well, how about you 3? Where would you get 3 play?
We were joking earlier because we saw the question on the sheet and we were joking. We said Roman Coliseum, hands down.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got to be the Roman Coliseum.
I've always been really interested in the idea of aqueducts. So yeah, I think the Roman Coliseum is probably the way to go.
I mean, if you can play anywhere, only one time, you got to pick the Roman Coliseum.
Yeah,
I mean, the acoustics are downright legendary. You think Red Rocks is pretty?
I heard the acoustics in that Coliseum just kill.
Yeah,
They
no,
slay.
they totally slay.
You just got to watch out for the Lions.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Right.
but I guess we were going to answer that question in any sort of serious way. There's a lot of great venues.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just happy to play. I'd be happy to
Yeah.
play any venue right now.
Yeah.
you know?
yeah,
I'd be happy to play the corner of Main Street right now.
for real.
Obviously,
On a flatbed trailer.
Wembley Stadium.
Wembley. The bigger, the better, huh?
Right. Yeah. Coliseums, stadiums.
Right. What are some of your 2021 goals? I mean, right, it's probably just to be able to play somewhere, but
The
But,
Roman
you know.
Coliseum.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get booked there forever.
They won't email us
They
back.
won't email us back. They only respond by a carrier pigeon or clay tablets. We've been focused on recording right now, and trying to get some new tunes out. Since we can't play live, and we love playing live. We consider ourselves a live band. Red Rocks definitely. We're gonna play Red Rocks this year.
thanks, Stephanie.
Shout out to Mom. We're focused on recording right now, and our ninth member, Nick McClure, has just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to recording, and he has access to some pretty cool facilities. So we're trying to step up our recording game right now and put out some top-notch stuff. Whenever things start to open back up, we felt like we had some pretty good momentum going, before
Yeah.
COVID happened. Yeah. We were starting to get some pretty good gigs, and then whenever the world just kind of went home, we did too. We didn't really post anything.
We had some gigs get canceled, and we had a couple that didn't, but and those were great to play, but it's a stressful time to do that sort of thing.
All right. So for 2021, we just would love to play. That's what we're about. The main thing that we like to do is just play music because we love to do it. So that's the goal.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that's everybody's goal right now is just to be able to get out and play some music. And, the good thing about, there's not too much good about COVID, but one of the good things musically is there's been a ton of music being released, and, by big bands, small bands, and it's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. We released one song during COVID. We were not one of those.
At least we got one song.
That was super productive.
We couldn't miss out on couldn't miss out.
But it was an awesome song, so there you go.
Thanks. Lots of writing, not a lot of recording.
So, you want to do another song?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Don't forget to switch the button there.
I got you.
You fellas want to talk about this?
Yeah. This next one is called Every Nickel. And me and Daniel actually wrote this one together. I came up with the idea, and it's kind of it started out as like this kind of existential kind of big picture of the world. It was during COVID actually, and I was just kind of, seeing the way of the world and how freaked out everyone was, and just for a second there, I kind of had to, just ground myself and take a look back, and this song kind of came out, and I showed it to Daniel, and I hadn't finished it up yet, and he threw some lyrics down in there, and it was cool. This was like really the first co-write Daniel has done with me.
Yeah.
Firing back ideas and different lyrics about where to take the song was something different for me. Typically whenever me and Randy write songs, it's we'll usually get them mostly finished and get in the same room, and of course discuss ideas as a songwriter, but I'd never done that with Daniel before, and it was really cool seeing his perspective on things.
Yeah, we did it mainly through the power of Google Doc.
We did. Shout out to Google Doc.
Shout out to Google.
But this one's called Every Nickel.
If you go down boldly, things of pure light and love ain't gotta be so damn lonely. Trouble isn't hard to find when you live like you speak your mind. What the hell is an absolute when you're traveling through space and time? And I stumbled through the women and the words that she said you can get me wrong, but boy, you don't get me right. I stumbled through the haziness, the words in my head, but what came out was something that I had read, and I know. If I had each nickel I would, I'd still be a pauper. If I knew the truth of life, I'd still be a runner, runner, runner. When I go, I might be the only man in this whole damn world who didn't go down thinking he was holy. Truth is hard to find, so I set out to make you mine. The good things, they don't last, so I got out just in time. And I tried to think of reasons why I should stay. Maybe we'll hook up and try it another day. And then as I settled into that Coach Shady bus, I thought of all the things that I might should say. And I know, if I had each nickel I would, I'd still be a pauper. If I knew the truth of my life, I'd still be a runner, runner. If I had each nickel I was, I'd still be a pauper. If I knew the truth of lies I saw, I'd still be a runner. If I had every nickel, if I had every nickel, if I had every nickel.
Wow, man, you guys don't disappoint whatsoever.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, man, I've lucked out. Everybody I've had on this show has just done such a great job, and you guys are stepping it up, man.
Thanks. We're honored to be a part of that, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
for having us again. You know, I saw this on Instagram. A friend of mine had shared it, and I was like, man, that's cool. I love that. You know, someone's doing like a local artist thing and giving shout outs, you know, to to people around the area you might know. So
Yeah,
We
I mean,
yeah, we're honored to be here.
there's quite a few of us doing it, but I don't know how I got started on this. We're wanted to demo and rebuild our music studio, and I wanted to get the boys involved and do a like document it on YouTube. It's kind of there forever. You can't get until YouTube disappears or something. But and then it just kind of morphed into this thing. So only thing now, I'm not in the studio, and the studio is demoed, and now I'm stuck in the basement. But we'll get the studio going soon. But I enjoy it. I really appreciate you guys being on here with me. I was really glad you guys reached out to me, and I listened to your music, and I was like, wow, this is going to be a really good interview. So where can people find your music?
Randall?
Yeah, you just look for the Wildermen. On we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, YouTube Music, just anywhere that music is streamed, we're there. So yeah, just look for the Wildermen. We've got an EP out, the Wildermen EP, and then we just released a single, Peaches and Brandy, the tune we played previously. Yeah, that one came out a few months ago.
And hopefully in the next couple, months or so, a couple weeks, we'll have something new.
Yep, we got some songs coming down the pipeline. So
Yeah, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff as well.
All the social medias. TikTok.
Yeah, and
just kidding, we're not on TikTok.
and here's see if I can do this. So there's
There you
Oh yeah, that's us.
and they got that's the Spotify one. They got their little bio and everything, and they got their music. It's great
absolutely.
stuff. I mean, how do I get back? But
Well, there's just us.
anything else you want to talk about before we end this, or?
Man, we just appreciate you letting us
Absolutely.
do it. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't get enough chances to do things like this, ever since COVID hit. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks again so much for having us, man.
And like I said before, I'll have all their links down in the description. I'll timestamp this. I have their Instagram, their Spotify, their Facebook page. It's all down below. And I really appreciate you guys being on here with me, because I enjoy this, and let's spread the word of you guys, and appreciate it.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you so much, man.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and go straight home.